U.S. stock futures fell on Wednesday night after tech juggernaut Meta Platforms reported its latest quarterly results. Traders also looked ahead to the release of key economic data later this week. Futures tied to the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 76 points or 0.2%. S&P 500 futures slid 0.6%, and Nasdaq 100 futures dropped 1%. Meta plunged 15% in extended trading after the social media giant issued light revenue guidance for the second quarter. International Business Machines fell 8% after missing consensus estimates for its first quarter revenue. The moves follow a mixed day for the stock market, as rising Treasury yields on Wednesday placed downward pressure on stocks. The S&P 500 edged 0.02% higher, while the Nasdaq Composite added 0.1%. The 30-stock Dow lost 0.11%. Traders will watch out for the first quarter reading of the U.S. gross domestic product, due at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time Thursday. Economists polled by Dow Jones expect that real GDP came in at 2.4%. Weekly jobless claims are also due. March's Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, the Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge, will be issued on Friday. Economists are calling for a monthly increase of 0.3% and a jump of 2.6% from a year earlier. These data points will inform the central bank's path forward on interest rate policy. Fed funds futures trading suggests the first cut could take place at the September Fed meeting, according to CME FedWatch tool. Nevertheless, iCapital chief investment strategist Anastasia Amoroso thinks that earnings look strong enough to boost stocks. Even if the Fed does stand pat, I think this could be a supportive environment for stocks, she said on CNBC's Closing Bell on Wednesday afternoon. Return expectations for investors have actually improved since the beginning of April. Companies set to report earnings before Thursday's opening bell include Caterpillar, Honeywell, Northrop Grumman, American Airlines, Comcast, Merck and Bristol-Myers Squibb. Disclosure: Comcast owns NBC Universal, the parent company of CNBC. iCapital chief investment strategist Anastasia Amoroso believes that there's a good chance the S&P 500 could rise to 5,500 by year's end. The broader market index closed at 5,071.63 on Wednesday afternoon. This target would mark an 8% increase for the benchmark. I think investors are getting another entry point here that's quite attractive, she said on CNBC's Closing Bell on Wednesday afternoon. Amoroso specifically highlighted semiconductor stocks for their potential to outperform going forward. As catalysts for an encouraging equities backdrop, the strategist cited strong corporate earnings and consumer spending, alongside a pickup in global manufacturing momentum. These are the stocks moving the most in extended trading hours. Stock futures opened lower on Wednesday night. Dow futures slipped around 0.3% shortly after 6 p.m. Eastern Time. S&P 500 futures lost 0.7%, while Nasdaq 100 futures fell nearly 1.2%.